Hey everybody, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing some lesson 8.1 adding and subtracting polynomials for you here. Hopefully while watching the video you don't hear my lovely kids screaming in the background. They're having a great time, I assure you. They're laughing about something right now. But according to my sound mixer, it can just pick up what my mic is picking up, so hopefully that's the case the whole time. All right, so we're gonna do a couple of these. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. I don't want to gloat, but I got a new computer and I'm completely recording this on the absolutely new setup here. So I still have my classic, tablet righty mabobber here connected, same webcam. But it's a new computer, so hopefully it's recording stuff right. And I re-downloaded all the programs, so hopefully they're all good. Here we go. Let's do this thing. So first two problems on this assignment ask you what the degree and the leading coefficient is. Now here's the deal. The problems are written in whatever form. The typical way to write a polynomial is in standard form. And in standard form, you'd pick the thing that's got the biggest exponent or biggest degree and write that first. Then you write the next lowest thing, then you write the next lowest thing, and then the next lowest thing. To do this assignment, you don't have to write it like that. But I do want to point out that this is the way it would be written if you were writing it in standard form. And that means this guy right here would have been first. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means the sum of its exponents, which in this case it just has 1, is the degree. So the degree is 5. And the leading coefficient is the coefficient, aka the number in front of that term with the highest degree. So in my case, if I had rewritten it in standard form, it's even more obvious to see that a 4 is out front. Now that includes the sign, so mine didn't have a negative in front, but if it had been -4, I would have written -4. Now one thing I've seen people do is they keep trying to put in letters. Like if I try and type V, I'm pushing the V button, nothing's happening, because you're not supposed to write a letter. You're just supposed to write the number. Oh, a little sneeze in the mic. I'm sorry. I don't know how to mute this thing yet. Is there a mute button on here? Oh, I think it's on the side or something weird like that. Oh, geez. I'm so sorry. Oh, well. You get a little sneeze. It was like a little tiny baby sneeze because I was trying to hold it back. Next problem. So on this one, I'm not going to move it around. I'm just going to say the degree is whatever the highest exponent is here. So this one doesn't have one. It's a 0, a 4, a 5, and a 1. So again, 5 is the highest. And the leading coefficient, I'm glad I got this problem because there's a number in front of this, but it's not written. It just says negative y to the 5th. And that's why people were trying to write like negative y, and it won't let them. Negative 1 is what's written there. It's just not written there. It's just invisible. All right, that covers those two. Okay, the rest of these problems are going to be us combining like terms to add these things together. Now, if you were in class later in the week, we did some stuff where we multiplied things together that looked like this. It looked really similar, except it didn't have a plus sign between, and that there's a big difference there. No plus sign means you got to do a whole different process than if there's some kind of add or subtract between these two things. Now, I'm really trying not to do this all by hand, and because I think a lot of you could handle this with mental math, but for the first ones, I will write it by hand. Now on this first one here, the plus sign doesn't do really anything. It doesn't change any signs in the right parenthesis. It doesn't do... Actually, the parentheses don't even matter. I could rewrite the whole problem as if there was no parentheses, and there wouldn't have been an issue here. This is plus 5t, and that, and that, and that. I just add the like terms. 2t squared and 5t squared are like terms, so they make 7t squared. Negative 7t and negative t are like terms, and they make negative 8t. The number negative 3 and the number regular 6 make 3. And there's my answer right there. So 7t squared. Sorry, new keyboard, trying to figure out where the buttons are. It's always slightly... Oops. It's always slightly different when you have a new keyboard. Oh my gosh. I hit some kind of crazy button. All right, let me 7t squared 8t plus 3. Thanks for that. All right, now another one. Now, I'll try and do this one, mental math? Can we do mental math? Let's just call it mental math. So, w squared, negative 6w squared. So when I combine the w squared terms, I get negative 5w squared. I can see what the button is now. It's a mouse click button. If I mouse click the button, it goes back. Maybe if I hit another thing, it'll go. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I get negative 5w squared, negative 4w and 2w make negative 2w. I wrote a 1. Negative 2w. And then 5 plus 3 makes plus 8. So honestly, on a lot of these, it's really like you can mental math your way through it. So I'm going to do that for the next couple here. So we have 5u squared minus 7u squared. So that's negative 2u squared. Then we have negative 2u and 3u, which makes plus 1u. Although you don't write plus 1u, you just write plus u. That would be the same effect. And then we have 1 plus 4, 5. Next, we have 5x squared and 4x squared, which is 9x squared. We have negative 7x and negative 1x, which is negative 8x. And we have negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4. Now, I assumed this was the case because I worked with a lot of people on assignments this week, and I'm needless to say a little mad at Alex about this one. So if Alex, if you're listening, let me explain my problem. Problems 3 through 7 I set to be addition and subtraction of polynomials, and all 5 of these were addition, which is not the same process as subtraction. So now I don't get to show you the subtraction like I want to. Anyways, you get negative 2 plus 1, which is negative 1. 6 plus 4 is 10, and negative 3 plus 7 is 4. They're not always written so that the first goes with the first, and the second goes with the second, third goes with the third, blah, blah, blah. But turns out it was on this one. Now, on this last problem, we got a lot going on here. And there is, thankfully, at least a subtraction going on in this one, so I do want to show you how the subtraction affects it. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to write 8u squared plus 2u plus 6 plus 3u squared plus 7u plus 6. Notice I'm not writing the parentheses, right? But on the third one, I am going to take the parentheses off, but the cost is, and this is where the minus comes in. If there's a minus sign, you actually kind of need to distribute it into the parentheses, and effectively it changes all the signs to be the difference of whatever they were. So 7u squared is now positive, 4u is now negative, and plus 7 becomes minus 7. Now it's a 3-parter, which is a little bit more than our other ones, but still just add the like terms. 8 plus 3 plus 7, that will be 18. U squared. We've got 2u, 7u, negative 4u, and that gives us 9 minus 4, which is 5u. And we've got 6 minus 7, so that's 12. We add the 6's, and minus 7 makes a 5. And that's it. So I wish I could have shown you more examples of that, but the minus sign here needs to go to all of it. All the symbols change, and I know people tend to remember the first one, but then they forget that the minus sign actually affects the other two, because they'll go, ooh, minus minus is plus, but then after they've added that thing, they'll forget 4u is supposed to switch and 7 is supposed to switch. So be super careful about that, okay? So 8u squared plus 5u plus 5. Write a U. Make sure you write a U. Don't want to get marked wrong for that. All done. Quick and easy assignment. Look at that. It's barely been 10 minutes yet as of this point. Let's go to the report. So there's 2 questions that were about the degree and the leading coefficient. So the degree is the highest exponent we see, and the leading coefficient is the coefficient, the number out front of that specific term that had the highest degree. We had 5 problems in a row of adding the like terms. The parentheses really didn't matter because there wasn't a minus sign. I really wish there had been a minus sign, though. Look at the problem type. Simplifying a sum or difference of 2 univariate polynomials. difference. Where's the difference problems? Alex. So here is simplifying the sum or difference of 3 polynomials, which actually included a difference, thankfully. So we got to see at least a little bit of it. All right, that's all I got to say about that one. So I'm going to hit the old pause button here, and I'll get started on 8.2 right now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helped. Have fun with math.